the meta. What else can we actually have in our game? I guess Martel is actually an okay one if you go into Harvest Soul. If you go to Harvest at 4, you can actually get a lot more percent damage done. I think that was also a way, but that was only available for top tier teams. Let's see if they can pull off the same.
Yeah. You know, the percentage-based damage from Malthael is what he's most known for, especially against Garrosh, for example, with his last rights. But his original value in Korea was from his ability to win solo lane very hard. That's before he was changed, before he got his AoE auto attacks, etc.
When basically Dehaka was getting picked all over the place.
Yeah. Now, you know...
now we have Irel, we have Blaze, so many solo lane, just top tier, who can also contribute to team fight a lot better.
But what's really refreshing for me is that this is a game where we have only 2 tanks. It's refreshing to see non-tank solo laners, and I'm hoping that in the future we'll go back to a meta where we could see Zagara top lane, you know?
Zagara.
Like, we could see Sylvanas top lane again.
That was the funniest thing you said, Wolf, in 2018. Zagara solo
One
lane?
day, man, I'm hoping. I'm keeping my hopes alive for that. One day we'll go back to, you know, sometimes you just don't need a tank in the off lane. Because of this awkward matchup, we're going to see lane swaps, and the solo lane actually becomes Garrosh versus Diablo, at least for the time being. But that is actually a huge advantage to Miracle, because they have Sergeant Hammer. So when the offlane gets moved around like this, Miracle wins, because no one's ganking the Hammer. Hammer's pushing hard.
And that's funny, because Thatcher was actually saying, having one of the interviews with the Chinese, I think, maybe 520 or 365. Why not Sylvanas? Why don't you play her anymore? And he literally said in English to us, not enough damage.
Yeah.
So those assassins or specialists that are kind of out of the meta, maybe we'll have like big reworks later on, which will bring those heroes really back into the meta. I don't think we're gonna see them for a long time.
Yeah. But hey, we got Thrall versus Malthael. Okay, that's okay with me. We didn't get ranged solo laners, but we got, you know, melees that aren't tanks up there. We're moving in a more interesting direction, in my opinion.
Certainly.
But, yeah, I mean, as you can see, like, Thrall is crushing Malthael, and Miracle doesn't have a ganking hero to come threaten that, so that top lane's always going to be a problem. Meanwhile, not caught here. This is a huge opportunity. He ganked himself. Goodbye. You know, they weren't going to come to him, so he came to them. That was definitely an overextension. Miracle caught him, leapt on him, did that damage. First blood. Before 10, I think Thrall kind of does have to be just like a top lane bot, and he just sits there, and when the minions go to the wall, he just goes back and he sits there and he's careful. If he rotates down like that, bad stuff's going to happen.
At a critical timing right before the shrine. So Miracle gets a free one, basically. Meanwhile, Feliz, they have to get some value out of this camp, or even before damaging the wall at least. And Miracle actually responds exactly the same, because they're already winning in defender numbers. They don't really have to use all 5 men.
Yeah.
They're not going to at least... Actually, they're not even going to lose too much. Just turret, not really losing any minion wave.
Stun here onto Aimer is just only going to slightly make him feel uncomfortable, but he is not leaving. This lane is going to be free pushed, but that's all that they could do. Let's see how much this Immortal gets done, because remember we talked about the off lane moving to mid for a little bit there? Sergeant Hammer, pushed this so hard that, like, Sniper has already set this up to be insanely valuable. And when you see how many members have to come down here to defend, all 4 basically, it's a nice opportunity for Miracle to even get the Dragon Queen out of this. It's a nice opportunity for Miracle to relieve some of that pressure in the top lane. They're going to head mid now. Look at Thrall. Natan's coming down. Has to be careful here. So, you know, with the top lane push, like they stayed almost even with experience. So Feliz made the right choice here.
And so far, no gank, not even attempted by Diablo. Miracle's basically rotating around them, so they don't even get their chance to gank into anyone. It's a bit of a problem as Diablo, maybe before he stacks all the soul, he just wants to be a little bit safer. Once you dive in, Judy can actually toss you all the way to the back.
Yeah.
And as a Diablo player, you always want to keep yourself really safe against Garrosh.
Yeah, this is a very late invade. Almost destined to fail. Not even the Goatmen died there. And so a huge wasted rotation means the top lane gets pushed. Miracle is utilizing this Sergeant Hammer pick very well, because Sniper is basically always where they're not doing damage. And Feliz needs to either collapse harder onto Sniper and kill him, or make more decisive invades, because every time they go halfway, they take like a half measure instead of a full measure, they lose structures. They lost the bot cannon towers earlier, they lost a lot of health on this fort now. And you don't see it in the EXP bar this time because it's only like a third of the fort got killed, but it's going to add up later.
Notice how Judy actually focuses on OJ's Diablo, because unless Diablo actually make a big rotation without any information, their backline, and Hanzo and Sergeant Hammer, there's not much of other CCs from Feliz other than Diablo for the hard engage, and they will basically not get caught if Diablo's late for the rotation or if he's not here. And I don't exactly know why Hannington was all the way in there.
I think maybe he thought they were going to get 10 while he was doing that, because if they get 10, then he gets out of here with the Sundering, and like they could even set for a fight. But if you look at the minimap, that clearly was not the plan of the rest of Feliz. Like they were definitely not on the same page there if that's what he was thinking was going to happen.
I am the green orc. I will just survive through everything with my trait.
He got smorked, man. They smorked him.
Oh, yes, for sure. And even if he had Blaze, he was going to get lamed as well.
Is he thinking about Earthquake here? I was going to say, like, I don't think so, man. Not in this meta.
Well, it does come out from time to time.
Very good with Lightning Breath.
Yeah, and Salvo as well. But you don't really need both for the same effect. You certainly do want to trap down and provide extra flow. With that Salvo, maybe leaving, you're only looking for one. If you're looking for one, rather choose more damage. Instant CC as well.
What's really interesting is Alex Strauss is waiting to see what Malthel picks before she locks in. But hold that thought. There's going to be an insta-blow up on Malthel. Speaking of which, he does go Tormented Souls. It's too late. He does die before he can heal himself up that way, so we will see no Life Binder here for Alex Strauss. Can be used in a lot of situations where the enemy Malthel does go for the last rites instead. Even with the kill into Malthel, though, their comp is so sustainable. They can move up here, take this fight to Feliz, but now have to back away. They almost bought enough time to where they could actually look for the objective, but now they're kind of twiddling their thumbs at the fort, just waiting for the Punisher to come through. It's a Mortar Punisher, or excuse me, a Arcane Punisher.
I think they were trying to, because they had higher of a number to start off the Shrine, I think they wanted to pick up some more defenders. Maybe they can contest if Feliz make the big mistake or whatsoever. That didn't really come in with the Dragon Queen. Of course, Feliz got the better positioning in the Shrine.
10 seconds on Sundering, so, you know, that's something they have to keep in mind. Hanaten could come up here and look for a flank. They have vision of him, though, so they just play aggressively up. It's going to be a fort. The fort in the top lane for Feliz has, like, less than 1 health left, but, you know, that's going to be Experience Miracle and grab later. I love this. This is a nice rotation. You know you have the Thrall to back you up. And, yeah, I mean, this is just going to force a warp. But the taunt? Lifebinder? Not a thing, man. You're not going to save him there. She's just trying to use the Q. Not Lifebinder, but just a normal heal. Not enough.
Q certainly not enough, and more picked up Hannington. Wrong rotational path there.
He came late. I feel like if he comes when they rotate down because of where he was in bot, they can steal that camp. I loved how they set everything up. Like we saw Li Ming toss in the damage on the way down, so hurting the wall. As Dudu is just looking for some additional experience. And now with these 2 forts going down, Bluebeetle's like, these 2 forts going down. Top fort, you know, basically just 1 Moonfire away from death as well. Miracle's taking a massive lead in experience. If Hanaten comes in at the right moment there, I think they can win that fight and crush it, steal the camp. There's so much they can do to then keep their bot fort alive.
Yes. That's what they were looking for. The execution just fell apart. Miracle just dove in at the right moment. They had... Feliz actually had better positioning around the camp because they got the early invade in. Little questioning why Hanaten actually rotated the other way instead. OJ not really being aggressive. He has been known as super aggressive, maybe a little too aggressive as a tank. Today, he has been the opposite.
Okay, I looked it up. It's Gift of Life, the Q. That was like driving me crazy. By the way, G-Clef, I have something very important to announce.
What is it?
I'm going to announce it here live on stream.
You're getting married?
No.
Okay, that's never going to happen, right?
No.
Okay,
good. Me? Are you kidding me? Look at Alex Strauss's portrait.
It has been fixed.
Yes.
And every other portrait, look at that. The back behind Hanzo and even Deckard, who was actually transparent.
Yes. It is way better. I don't know why I didn't notice it until just now, but like suddenly I was like, oh my god. No scrunchy Alex Strauss.
Heroes team working their way into everything, man. They're on top.
It is slick. Also, I think White Main's portrait is amazing, but that's not a story.
What about Kel'Thuzad, though?
Well, you know, it might be a while before we know about that.
But got a somewhat of a rework on that next patch. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I saw a lot of rich Kel'Thuzad hype. Maybe next week.
Well, yeah, the new patch, PTR we just saw was pretty good for him. Let's just say. I don't know if it'll be viable for pro play, but Miracle's got 16 here. And we do see the taunt committed. Root follow-up.
Beautiful focusing from Miracle.
They abused the fact that he was trying to flank to set up a Sundering. They abused that as the arrow does just thread the needle there. They abused the fact that he was trying to flank and they just turned on him. And when you have BFG instead of the Napalm Strike for Hammer and you have that burst, you just kill him. He stunners everybody, but it doesn't matter. So that was really good punish play. Basically, Hanaten, I know you're trying to do this sneaky play where suddenly we're all caught, then Lightning Breath comes out, salvo, and then, you know, it's a great fight for us. And they just turned around, killed him, shut him down, and then now Miracle's going to get this for free, this Punisher, and this fort is already damaged.
Clearly, it has been practiced, but the timing is a little bit off in terms of teamwork. There's OJ thrown again with the help of Punisher as well. So that's a Diablo Gauntlet. Rip souls.
You and I talked about this since game 1, about how Feliz is not really a team that's known for running Thrall. Like, Aimer's not a Thrall player. They put him as the solo laner here, which ends up being kind of weak in terms of solo macro. And his synergy is not on the same page. Look at this toss. OJ is in trouble. Sundering used defensively.
Lightning Breath unstoppable, but you still take damage. Does go down. Hanaten forced out from the siege damage from Sniper. Is barely touched in this teamfight. Look at the amount of the wave. The Goatman pushing to keep now. Feliz without Diablo, they cannot go in. No Sundering. No, there's no engage for them.
They get away from that BFG, but Aimer's not getting away. He's dead.
That throw over the keep.
Well played.
Seemed like longer than usual.
They might actually look to end here with the 2 deaths. I think they actually can. They don't have 20, but I just don't think it matters. Do a significant amount of damage either way. Some indecisiveness here, though. The problem with ending here is they don't have any way to kill the members of Feliz, and now there's a respawned OJ.
Actually, only not even 14 minutes in. Course still pretty strong.
They're gonna, you know, definitely damage it with these Goatmen here as well.
A lot of their heroics are actually on cooldown, except for the challenge. So maybe that's why they're worried for a second. They do have this Sergeant Hammer. Seems like they're backing off. They want to wait for Diablo to come out on Switch. Coming soon. Right?
Coming soon, man. That's what you, me, and Caster O are going to be doing in this room every day during rehearsals. That's going to be our new lives. When's Heroes of the Storm coming out for Switch? Blizzard, please.
Blizzard, please. I will say 2021. But
I would play it, man. I would love that.
they've been trying to poke in some damage, but OJ's getting even more poked. And
This is actually just kind of crazy that they can poke like this.
Core is going down, 65.
Yeah. Okay, here's the commitment, actually, to the Dragon's Breath.
Look at that Nature's Cure. That's crazy, but Diablo dives in really nicely done, focusing on the damage. Nacho Jin takes a significant amount, but does still save a
Aimer, super low. Lightning Breath is going to turn on OJ here, but Aimer lived, so he could do a lot of damage. Does get that heal there. The Gift of Life. Frankel, he eats that Calamity damage.
Can just go over the wall, not even needed in this case.
I think it's time to leave, Miracle.
Yes.
I think it's time to leave.
That Nature's Cure was crazy. From Blue Beetle, just ignored that Sundering. How does he even do that? That's gifted.
I mean, clearly Miracle's playing super well around Hanatan's Thrall here. From picking him off when he was trying to flank, to ganking him, to blowing him up in that forced failed rotation. Speaking of that camp that I'm talking about, they're going to steal it this time successfully because they knew Miracle was top right here.
At that moment, I think if Tutu was a little bit more patient about a skill shot, I think they could have landed a few more kills. Just trying to turn things around as they got the core down to 65. They're down on the keep, and their wave is actually pretty bad as well.
Well, this is a fight that Miracle will... They can fight before 20. That's what they're going to try to do here, but if the fight goes bad...
Dominable. Okay, slow damage. Salvo does connect.
Oh, it just got him barely, but he's got so much armor.
But he's getting heals, yes. Focusing on the Nitrogen this time. We'll get away. As Phoenix gets sniped from the back. Frankel getting that done with the challenge. Taunted the members are. They might even not need this Punisher to finish the game.
Oh, man. Doo-doo. I'm sorry.
Oh, look at that level 20 getting that double jump. Woo!
Well, he was like, I can't help you, man. In fact, I can't help myself. Dying after the Dragon's Breath expires. Throwing Sniper over the wall. Let's end this game. 20's up. They don't even need it. That Malfurion 20, though. All right, well, it was a bit of a weird finish there, but Feliz stepped into the trap. The challenge, as you mentioned, was the big factor there. The stun from Hanzo, plus actually the thing is the BFG didn't even really hit that many people. It's just a really nice combo setup. Feliz just, I think in some ways, we know now why